continue to cleanse this area. It is Sunday, May the 15th, the night of the full moon in Scorpio, lunar eclipse, and welcome to the Zodiac Chatline. I am your host, Tanae, with always Cassie in the building. Girl.
Oh, hello.
I know,
my
say
sweet
it.
angel.
Say
How
it, girl. You really want to know?
You know what? Before I do, but before,
say it.
to
Okay,
all
good.
you folks in here, we want to talk about your questions. Put them in the chat, please. Coral has got her eyes out. You can do one of the cute, quirky things where you send Tanae a question mark. She'll answer your question. Bring it out here. Whatever you want to do. But we're going to talk about all the things. Okay, so Tanae.
Okay,
now,
I'm going to put this down so I don't set my place on fire.
Yeah, I should do the same thing.
I'm fucking pissed off. That's it. I'm irritated. I'm pissed off. I'm sad. I'm scared, to be honest with you. It's just a little, it's crazy. I mean, so Cassie and I talk a lot about just the planetary things that are going on. And currently we are in the middle of the eclipses. Obviously the eclipse is happening tonight, but we're still in the middle of it. And we're in the middle of a Mercury retrograde. And as a whole, we have witnessed just some fucked up shit in the past week or so, starting with the leak from the Supreme Court about the Roe versus Wade, and leading up to yesterday's tragic domestic terrorist act massacre in Brooklyn at a grocery store.
Buffalo or Brooklyn?
In Buffalo. Did I say Brooklyn? I'm sorry. In Buffalo.
No, it's okay. I was making, yeah.
In Buffalo, New York, right? I would have said, but in Buffalo, New York, in a low-income Black neighborhood, and a white 18-year-old boy, because he can't be a man, even though he should be tried as an adult, a boy needed to make sure that the replacers, as he called people of color, were eliminated, and went into intentionally and shot up this store with all these people in it. And I've seen some of the names, and some of these people are in their 70s and 80s, just living their regular life. And I also watched how they handcuffed and arrested this person. And it was like, oh, it's okay. Here you go. Let me put these handcuffs on gently for you. Again, reminded me of Dylan Roof. If you guys don't remember, he was the idiot that went into a church with a bunch of Black people in South Carolina and prayed with them and then murdered them. So I'm just over it. Like, as a Black person in America, I'm angry. Like, I am enraged at the point where it's like, please don't run up on me. Try Jesus, don't try me. It's scary that we are continuing to assume that Black people are always the perpetrators when white kids are allowed to own guns, say racist things, do this. There was an incident in a Georgia high school where a white girl called a Black kid the N-word, and he slapped the shit out of her, and he got a harsher punishment than her. I don't understand how that works. So I'm just trying to continue to stay within prayer and within peace, because it's very difficult watching all of this. And then just reading that Brittany Grenier also has an extension of her detention in Russia for another month. Still can't figure that out. Still really don't know what's happening there. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Go ahead, girl. I gotta take a break.
Listen, I have, I don't know. It's some fuckery. It's some real fuckery. And to, bring it to where the planets are. If we can, first of all, let's just say that no matter where the planets are here in the United States of America, the fucking clutches of white supremacy is just clawing at all of us every single day. And it's important for all the white people out there to do work within themselves to try and address those realities and address them within yourself, within your family. Learn, listen to people of color, and don't leave a comment. Just don't. Just listen. Just don't. You don't have to weigh in. You just have to listen. And So I'm not going to blame any of what's happening now in the nasty white supremacist patriarchy that keeps fucking rearing its ugly 3-4 billion heads that it seems to just have, and every time we cut one off, 7 new ones grow. But I will say, being within these Taurus Scorpio eclipses, which the Taurus Scorpio axis is very intense, between materialism and spirituality, between the things we build and hold true and value, and the transformations, deaths, and rebirths that we go through. So all of those pressure points are being applied. Like that is what is being pushed on within all of us. This was a week where we also saw, Tanae and I both work in corporate environments, and saw massive layoffs at other big companies. As part of this whole great resignation that's happening is, behind the scenes, there are a lot of companies that are also laying people off. And like, it's a great big shakeup of everything that we value, and that resonates deep within us. Really intense feelings, personal beliefs, everything is being thrown into question. And all I can say is just try and stay calm. And I don't mean that like, I'm not trying to
not like a calm down.
Right. Just like as much as you can, try and for yourself, not for me, for yourself, right? And, like for all of us.
And to be honest, like watching all of this crazy transformation is necessary at the end of the day, because we have to see what's actually going wrong and actually happening in order to change. Because if we were content and nothing ever changed, and we didn't see such dramatic and terrible things, we would all be complacent. And I think that because Taurus and Scorpio also fixed signs, and on a fixed axis, the tendency to be complacent and stuck is very easy for both of those signs, especially Taurus, because it's an earth sign. And so having this eclipse opposing the sun in Taurus, the North Node in Taurus, and Uranus in Taurus will bring a lot of unexpected shifts within yourself and within the people around you. And most of it is not under your control. And I'm still a fan of observing and not absorbing, and responding, not reacting. So just get your O and your R together. I'm just saying, like, make sure that you are aware that these things aren't happening to you, they're happening for you. And in the moment, you may be saying, like, why is all of this happening? And none of us can ever know what was going through anybody's head. Anything that's happening right now, we can't always predict what was going through that person's hand, but we can know how it's making us feel and how we want to choose to live our lives outside of it. So I encourage you for this full moon. It will happen. If you're on East Coast with us, what up, East Coasters? It will happen just after midnight tonight. So pretty much after this show, maybe an hour or so, it will happen. Make sure you guys go charge your crystals, and get near some water, because it's in the full moon is in the water sign of Scorpio. I encourage you to get in some water, take a really good bath. Put some of your stones, if they are water friendly, in some water, make some moon water, but really kind of use that energy to cleanse and really fully go deep within and have a good fucking cry, because I think we all need it.
Yeah.
And this is coming from a bitch that don't really cry, but I cry. I'm sensitive as fuck, but you ain't gonna catch me crying, but I'm gonna go cry in this tube later.
Yes. That is super, super real. Great advice. And this is, we've talked about phases of the moon and the type of magic that you work at those phases, or the type of intention setting you do, or activities you partake in if you don't consider it like magic or whatever. Full moons are generally a good time to release, and full moons can be a very potent time to do like spell work. However, a full moon with an eclipse, close your loopholes. We're also in Mercury retrograde. It's that kind of like, be careful what you wish for thing.
Oh my goodness,
where
yes.
Sometimes you just don't know, you're wishing for the wrong thing, or you haven't thought out, okay, if I get that thing, what's the next step, right? Mm-hmm. So highly encourage releasing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
This may not be the ideal time for manifesting, unless you know your chart and yourself well enough to know, like, these are, I have prominent Scorpio placements, or I have, a lot of intense Taurus energy or whatever. And it's this, whatever. You did your research, you do you. But for those of us who are experimental, maybe just take a salt bath.
No, that, and then I was also gonna say, you know, like your intention, even if it is in Scorpio season, your intention should be believed to be to release what no longer serves you. That's a part of you. It could be a habit. It could be a negative mental thought. It could be, especially something like wording. Be very specific again, because we're in Mercury retrograde. So please don't be so nonchalant with how you are saying words. Just be careful of your communication, text, especially anything emotional that you're going to send, because you never, you know, you can only send it in the best way possible, but tone and how somebody receives it, you don't have control over. So make sure your intentions are, you know, in a good place.
And look to Taurus season activities to help you feel a little better in this time period. There's a lot of energy in the planets right now. Mars is in Pisces, which is like not really, it doesn't necessarily do well there. Venus moved into Aries recently, which is spicy, but like not necessarily in the way you want. And it's a good time to take a beat and just know that if you know, if you're launching something or doing a big project and you find yourself running into issues, there's reason to believe that about mid-June, the energy is really going to pick up. That we're going to have Mars will be in Aries. The sun will be in Gemini. Actually, that's coming soon. And a lot of energy will pick up and feel more actionable, and Venus will be in Taurus, which is its exaltation. Like, there will be nice positive things on the horizon, and we'll find things moving a lot faster and more easily then. So just if you can hold off, you know, on things for a few more weeks, do your research, stay home.
No, and honestly, I've been reading, it looks like Gotta Be Goldie and Jamrock too. They said they've been living their best Taurus life. She said, you know, one said she in a robe. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. I slept for a long time, y'all. I'm just ice cream. Yes, y'all. Get your Taurus energy and luxuriate. Make sure you just get comfortable. Get a soft, cushy pillow, a blanket. Like she said, a face mask, a nice luxurious bed. Put on some mood music, some candles, something scenty, you know, some good aromas or essential oils and stuff. Okay. All right. But I'm going to let Cassie introduce our guest. Guys, don't forget, Coral is in the chat. We will have questions later, and we got a great card pull coming up. But Cassie, tell us who's on deck.
All right, so here at the end of Taurus season, because we've got the sun moving into Gemini on Friday the 20th, we have to have one more Taurus guest. Our guest tonight is a Taurus sun, a Cancer moon, and a Cancer rising, and one of my very best, dearest friends, and my wife, common law, Sean.
He should be coming in. I just invited him. And Cassie
Mercury is retrograde. You better not mess with us.
Cassie is flipped. Cassie is a Cancer Taurus, so that's why they're besties.
That's
Did I
right.
invite you in?
We're little mirrors of each other.
Invite. Okay, invited. One more time. Boom. Yes, Rachel, crab.
Yes. Cancer's up in the building.
Okay. Try it again. I know.
Mercury.
Girl, Mercury be playing his games.
Trying
he just sent a request, and I'm like, accept. I hope it worked. Accept. Oh my God. This is why. Mercury for real?
Also, you know, Sean likes to make an entrance.
I know. He is unable to join. Oh, we're going to keep figuring this out. Pause. Okay, let's try it again. Boy, you got some privacy settings on your thing.
Right? I'm trying to think if there was anything else we didn't hit as far as where the planets are right now.
No, the only thing is,
It's too much technology. Way too much.
Says the old man born in the 80s. Mercury be Gatorating, girl. You ain't never lied. Mercury Listen, Mercury be trying us, but we have powers, and Sean got powers, but we ain't gonna tell you about his powers just yet. So we was gonna make it work. Okay. Hi.
Welcome to the show.
That was a heavy start to the show, y'all. That was it needed to be said, but let's
That's why we brought you here to lighten it up.
That's right. Yeah.
Says the guy who got me to get an iPhone.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
On that, let's check it. You're a Taurus. You have some, big Taurus energy, but a lot of earth and water energy in general. How have you been feeling this past couple of weeks personally? Has this been a good time for you? State of the world notwithstanding.
So, okay, quickly. John, my partner, and I went and saw that Everything Everywhere All at Once movie. And it has a really good meaning. It's almost like pseudo-nihilistic of like really nothing matters and you can just kind of be in the moment and only do what you do. And so I've been really trying to like lean into that and like not stress so much, as you know how I am. About what's going on all the time around us. Unfortunately, that's impossible to constantly do because it's always in our face. And like you guys are saying, it's extreme fuckery. It's quite a time to be alive. Also, maybe unfortunately be alive. It's intense. It's intense. But I've been feeling pretty stable, I would say. Which is big for me, because it's not always the case. So,
Whatever.
Moon in the first house. I imagine it doesn't always feel stable.
Right. But you've always been more stable than everybody I know, at least me. But but that's
fake it till you make it.
You have faked it till you make it. So I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna throw out a question for you. Because, your chart's pretty cute. It fits you. The more I know you, the more I love you. So my first question is, what do you appreciate the most about solitude?
I guess just, I don't know. But what do I appreciate the most about solitude? This is pressure. I'm sorry. This is extreme pressure.
Tanae, why do you ask that question?
Well,
yeah,
Sean does have his son. Sean does have his son in the 12th house. And a lot of times people with their sun energy in the 12th house, it's necessary for them to have solitude in order to kind of, he deserves 12 questions right off the bat. It is a lot harder for sometimes 12th sun house people, because there's so much energy that's around them that they need the solitude to really kind of like be creative and transform and be their best selves. They're not, let's say, like a first house person who is out in everybody's face and like, hey. A 12th house person's like, ooh, it's time to go. Okay. Like get a robe, chill out. And so, and you have a lot of Cancer placements, you have a lot of Capricorn placements. And even though those placements are about stability, a lot of them enjoy a lot of solitude.
Okay. So, I feel that. I'm for sure not all up in people's face, like, it may seem like I am, but yeah, I'm good to Irish goodbye everybody on everything too. So, I don't know. I guess it's just like a tough question for me to ask.
Do you appreciate solitude? Do you appreciate solitude?
I do, yeah. I feel like everyone kind of should, again, lean into that and, embrace solitude, at least when you can find it, or create solitude for yourself when you can.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Okay. So I mentioned briefly that you have the moon in the first house. Almost always, if your rising sign and moon sign are the same, the moon will be in the first house. It's possible it could be in the 12th house. It depends on how the degrees work out. Yours is in the first house. So your first house rules your physical body, is traditionally associated with Aries, but in your case, it's in Cancer. And the moon is, of course, in its dominion in Cancer. The moon rules the sign of Cancer, so it's strongly placed there. How do your emotions like affect your physical body?
Like that.
So, yeah. Okay, so going back to the very, very first question, I feel like lately I've been stress eating a lot of sweets, and then I was also telling my partner about how I'm, quote, letting myself go. So now I'm like in full-blown panic mode at the gym, like not eating sweets and just like really grinding, and I have no reason to, and I know that, right? And it's when the emotions come into play about your physical, your physical being. You really think, he exactly puts down ice cream. You think other people care about you way more than other people actually care about you. And I mean, for everyone out there, Cassie and I have been friends for a long time, and we've had this discussion many a time. And yeah, emotions and physical appearance and just physical self and physical form and all of that, go hand in hand most of the time, probably not in the best way.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you bring up physical appearance as well with that, because my question, if you recall, wasn't about physical appearance, but just how it feels in your physical body.
Physically,
but since you brought it up,
right.
Tied in.
You also have Venus in the first house. So you are very, part of your identity is making sure that you look the way you want to look. It's tied intrinsically into who you are. I won't say unfortunately, because we should all feel beautiful wherever we fit in our body, in this world and in the spectrum of bodies. But Taurus and Cancer, people with a lot of Taurus and Cancer energy, both struggle with their relationship to food and emotions, and can fall into the trap of wanting to, like, disordered eating, whether or not they really have an eating disorder, but definitely focus heavily on that, and are both known to gain weight around their middle as they get older. So I am taking the opposite tack of you. I have realized that I can fucking beat myself up over 10 pounds, or I can do barely the bare minimum and maintain my weight, and that is what I am doing now.
That's it. That's what I'm trying to
Listen,
love myself.
as long as you have a
Get
good,
there.
as long as you have it, you have a good base. I see you bulk up. Remember, I've known you for some time too, and you got your grown man body on today. I like that.
I know.
So you have definitely
that
bulked up a little. Any Cancer placements do, like you said, have to be concerned with the food and the emotional eating. But I think it's a beautiful thing that you have the moon in Cancer and Venus in Cancer, because it makes you look so sweet. But people just don't know
Everyone
you.
knows.
But then they know you. They like, this motherfucker right here. God damn. But I think that, you and I both actually share a Cancer rising. And so, like, people approach us like, oh my God, they're so.
Yeah. Whoa.
Just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so my next question is, how have you balanced your needs as a caregiver to the needs of your family and the people around you?
I don't often put myself first, I'm very I'm generous with my, friends and family and all that stuff. So I guess I don't actually, personally, I feel like I don't balance it. Although, I always make John go get me food and stuff when I'm, whatever. But I feel like I give more than even I want to receive, if that makes any sense. come around the holidays, everybody knows, like, you know, I'm gifting everybody something, you know, everyone's going to get something. And I don't know, just the need. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm not answering these questions. I'm sorry, but
No, you're answering them honestly. And I mean,
yeah,
the thing is, Cass and I know you, but you still are answering them in the best way that you know how.
yeah,
I guess me just telling you that is just to really try and focus on learning to find a better balance with that, because even though you seem to be the type of person that feels like it's better to give than to receive, it's equally just as great to receive as it is to give. And
yeah,
people that give and are super generous tend to not set their own limits. And then it feels resentful when it's like, why aren't my needs being met? So take your time to really learn to balance that out. Just, you know,
yeah,
whenever you can.
yeah. I love I love gifts. Don't get me wrong. I love gifts.
We know his birthday coming up, y'all. We don't tell everybody
True, true,
actual
true.
birthday, but
It's
sometime
next
this
week.
week or next week,
This
just send
coming
him,
week. Yeah.
something like
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Oh yes, tattoo. I'm the coolest guy in the First of all, Jamaica, that's Jamrock. Jamaica is one of my coworkers, and she's a Taurus, and she is the bomb.com. She's giving you mad props. She has loved your aesthetic. That's your new friend, clearly.
Thanks.
Go ahead, Cassie.
I was gonna, so kind of building on your answer to that question about like you feel more comfortable giving than receiving. I think part of that maybe to that receiving is a bit of a more vulnerable position, right? You're not as in control of it, and you do have these three planets hanging out in the sign of Capricorn in your seventh house of relationships and partnerships. And Capricorn is the opposite sign of Cancer, hence why it is opposite your first house Cancer placements of the Moon and Venus. And actually, I think that those Moon and Venus in Cancer placements are helpful with the stuff that's going on in your seventh house, because you actually do have a heart in there that you will let somebody see. But Capricorn in your seventh house and Saturn being one of those planets, which is the taskmaster disciplinarian of the zodiac. I mean, Capricorn, it takes a lot for a Capricorn to let you in. Like, Capricorn placements are heavy boundaries. Like, some people are bad at boundaries. Other people are great at boundaries. And Capricorn's great at boundaries to the point where it might be a detriment.
Where it might be a wall and not a boundary.
Yes. And they can also be very controlling. And so one question I had for you was how do you wield control in friendships, partnerships, relationships? How do you feel like you have to be, do you feel the need to be in control? How does it feel to be out of control in those situations?
I feel pretty like neutral on that. I feel that where I am in my life, as many people, you know, as you get older, you realize you start to kind of like, you know, break through and weed out, like, you know, who you need in your life and who you don't need in your life, through good and bad. I feel like control should be, yeah, like, you know, on both sides for balance, you know what I'm saying? Because control, you know, ultimately equals like, you know, just power. And, you know, you can't always have a balanced relationship, you know, romantic or, you know, platonic, if there's too much power on one side. Control, you know. So
It's
I
good
would,
to recognize.
yeah, you know, like I feel like I get like defensive if there's too much like offense, like too much, you know, happening, that I'm like, all right, I don't like this. And that's when I'm like, I'm out, you know, I'm good. I'll see you when you're ready, you know, kind of vibe. So yeah.
I mean, that's a brave front and a brave state, like to take that and really acknowledge that that's a good way to have your needs be met by you. because you're like, this is no longer helping me and needing my and meeting my needs, and I need to like go ahead and separate that energy. So that's a listen. You grown up, mate. I'm so proud of you.
Seen some shit. Seen some shit in my day.
I'm so proud. I don't. The outside world doesn't know the three of us have such a bond, but they have a separate bond. But the three of us together have been through a lot.
It's true. It's true.
Very true.
So just watching.
They don't know anything about this.
Listen, they don't know. Listen, but they want to know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. You're part of the crew. So my other question: how psychic are you, really?
Oh God, Cassie, you remember like shit? It was probably like 13 years ago now when we were sitting in your room and we were holding up shapes and colored cards and seeing how psychic the other people were. But I feel like Cassie and I were the only ones that really could get it to work. And so I would say that is proof enough that I am 100% psychic.
Yes, exactly what I wanted to hear. Again, that 12th house energy, all that Cancer energy. We know we're not telling all the secrets. Oh, they are definitely soulmates. There's no question about that. Like,
It's true.
if they both were attracted to each other in the way they should be, their spouses wouldn't exist. Like, that's a real fact.
Well,
but as you can see, they look like twins. You see, they look like twins currently in this present moment.
We do.
But
we all love Sean and I both secretly want to marry ourselves. So that's why we are who we
True.
are.
It's not a secret.
It's not a secret.
It's not a secret. Because I know both of you, it's definitely not a secret. But, you know, why not? If you're the best, why not marry? I'm with you. If you don't want to marry yourself, who the hell else is trying to marry you? That's
that part.
Facts,
with the psychic question, though, comes also, I think, a good point to talk about your North Node placement, because you do have the North Node in Pisces. And so that means your South Node is in Virgo. And you've seen enough of this show, but reiterate it. Your North Node is the idea that that's what your karma is evolving to in this life, right? And to elevate yourself throughout this lifetime, that's the energy you need to go toward. And the South Node placement is the energy you come into this life comfortable with. And it's very appropriate that you, who have so much Earth sign energy in your chart, come into, although curiously none in Virgo except for your South Node placement. And so you come into this life with the energy of Virgo, which is, you know, extremely analytical, very disciplined, very focused on details, will do everything, much more comfortable giving than receiving. And you need to evolve to Pisces, which is very much the let it go. I have faith that everything's going to turn out okay. I don't need to control everything. The universe has my back. And it's so hard to get to that energy if it's not natural to you. But because you have, you know, these advantageous moon in Cancer position in your first house, like, you know in your physical body when something is wrong for you, you know in your physical body when something's right for you. And it's a matter of listening to that stuff, trusting yourself. And frankly, you don't have any fire energy in your chart at all. And what my advice to you would be, and this is probably advice that I've drunkenly given you before, is to take chances when you feel, especially pay attention to those moments when you feel fired up. Like when you truly start to feel like something has ignited something in you. You also have Jupiter in the 11th house, which is the house normally ruled by Aquarius, but it's very much concerned with humanitarian needs. And it's in your sun sign of Taurus. So if you can find like causes or groups that really fire you up, you will be able to elevate them through your natural gifts. You're a builder, you're a doer, you're a handler of details, and you can make the biggest dreams you have come to reality. But it's a matter of being able to take chances, and that's hard for people with a lot of earth sign energy and no fire sign energy, because it's just not natural to you to do something that you haven't thoroughly planned out and thought about 10 different ways it could go, and you came up with 2 contingency plans for each one of those 10 different outcomes. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and you also have your North Node in the 10th house of your career and ambitions. And that's an interesting placement for a Pisces, because the Capricorn energy that you have that would be much more comfortable there, it's in Pisces. So a lot of it, again, is having faith in your career and that things will work out. And I think that the older you get, I think the more that you are tending to have faith, rather than like needing proof. And it's because, you know, going back to the psychic energy, like you already know. It's just like you're going to need less tangible proof, and you just need to kind of take more intuitive proof. Yeah. So when you focus on your career, use your intuition and not necessarily a tangible. I think Cassie and I both talked about this before. You know, the balance when you have spirituality and you have spiritual gifts and you have gifts that you want to give to people, and learning how to balance that with the material of trying to get paid for it, I guess is the best way to say it. That's a really like tough axis to deal with. Just, I think in general, is like, I really want to be spiritual, but I don't want to be out here, you know, like I don't want to focus on making money just because I'm spiritual. And it just tends to evolve in that way. So, you know, just, I encourage you to, for your birthday, do something that you would never, ever think you would do. Because whether you have an itinerary already, because we know where you're going, find something that, you know, you would be like, I would never do this. Try and find some sort of spontaneity just to like jumpstart, just have faith that you're like, I'm just going to try this. And then could be good or bad, but like go in with no preconceived notions, no feelings about it. Just like, I'm just going to go and do it.
Gotta
think about it. Let me give it. I'll check. You know, just think about it, because you never know what experience that could bring you.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know, I've been like completely sober for 2 years now, and like since then I feel like going back to like the taking chances and thing, like, you know, you guys know, and then for the people out there, I completely changed, you know, my career and my life over those two years. And I was, you know, just one day when I was just like, you know what, whatever, because like, you know, you see things on paper and you're like, oh man, that's gonna be 2-3 years for me to even achieve that. But it's like, well, you're gonna hopefully be alive in 2 or 3 years anyway, so why don't you just do it? You know what I'm saying?
There you go. Exactly. Y'all hear that?
For me, you know, it's just like, whoa, you know, that's a lot. But, you know, it was just something in my head that was like, you know, it's time. You have to do this now, you know. And
I'm glad you did.
Literally the best decision I have 100% ever made in my life, except, you know, moving down to Atlanta with Cassie, which full circle, we wouldn't even probably be in this little room right now.
No,
that never happened.
We wouldn't.
That's because of what?
Don't you?
Oh my God, that's what I'm saying. They don't understand, like, this trio. If they only knew what we saw.
I have matching globe tattoos, little
That's
witch
right.
globes, crystal balls.
Because these two, always.
Witch globes forever.
These two. Oh my God, and we do have Miss Moore 90s. I know y'all remember that. What's up, girl? Give her a shout out.
I saw her name pop up.
Yeah, we got her up in the chat, so she knows what's up. She knows what's good.
Anything else you want to hit on with the North Node before we pop to this game?
God.
No, because you have your book, you know all of the things you need to do. I would encourage you. I do find that it's very nice that your North Node release is the need of control, and we did talk about that. And I also think that it says that you're on the path of the way of transcendence, and a lot of it is transcending what you think is right and what you think is like practical and like this, it should be this, this, and this. It's just, again, just going out there and just letting that Pisces energy, you know, you'll always stay grounded because you have way too much energy not to, but just letting your soul really just soar, separate from everything else. And get you some more Rainbow Obsidian if you don't got none.
Heard. Heard.
All right. So
You,
since
Jam Rocket 2 is your fucking friend. Your biggest fan.
love it.
We got a fan in the building. I'm just
Yeah.
like, okay, go ahead.
Zodiac Chatline, just making connections
That's right.
one season at a time.
Always.
I love it. Since you don't have 3 different babies for your big 3, we're not going to do blame it on your big 3 like we normally do. Instead, we're going to do spot the tatted Taurus. So we are going to give you some clues, and you need to tell us what famous Taurus tattooed celebrity we are referring to.
Full disclosure, I am horrible with celebrities, like everyone out there, so don't judge me.
It's okay. I
This is
promise
a
you
judgment-free zone. It's like Planet
promise you-
Fitness in here.
Right. These clues, you're fine.
All right.
We picked 3 people. You might get stumped on one of mine.
One of them, yeah.
Yeah. You
Right.
might get stumped on one of mine, but you'll be all right.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna give you enough clues.
All right, you're first because I got 1, you've got 2.
I'm gonna write these down so I can.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I'll do the first one then. I'll do this one. Okay. This R&B singer gave us "I Need a Gangsta" from the Suicide Squad movie. Her sexuality has always been a hot topic, and she just released her latest album, Blue Water Road, for her fans.
Oh God.
This is the one that was gonna trip you up, though. This is the hardest one.
Was her first like single on Suicide Squad? Was that like her first hit?
No, that's the first one I think that everybody kind of knew. But it was the Harley Quinn theme. She did a music video for it and everything. Jamaica, don't say nothing. I know you know. And she is, let's see, she is an R&B singer. She has done a lot of duets with.
Yeah, she's done a lot of features.
T-Pain. She's done one with Tiana Taylor. She's done one with Victoria Monet.
Sweetie.
She had her last album. It was good until it wasn't.
Was that the title of the album?
Yes.
Damn.
And her name starts with
first?
the letter K. Stop being a psychic. I need you. Mine too, Jamaica. Look at what Johnny was saying. It is Kaylani.
Fuck. John, he should be in this room because he's the music guru. He would be lacing me up with all these answers.
He's yelling him from the other room.
Damn.
He's like, it's Kaylani. Yeah, she's probably as tatted as you are. You guys can't see. Sean is only showing his hands, but Sean is definitely super tatted.
Heavily tatted.
Heavily. All right. Number 2. He has a very spicy British wife, and he was the protagonist's love interest.
David Beckham.
Yes.
I didn't know he was. When's his birthday?
It just passed, right?
Yeah, May something.
Early, like first week of May, I think.
For real, and I'm not even lying. The only celebrity that is a Taurus that I know off the top of my head, and I only know this because we share the same birthday, is JTT.
Oh,
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Really?
Okay.
He's a Taurus. Didn't you forget Malcolm X, sir?
Well, yeah, that's true. And sorry, God, I'm just gonna get fucking rung out here. Why'd you do that?
I'm just fucking with you. No, David Beckham's birthday is May the 2nd. So he just had a birthday.
Okay.
Yeah. He's tatted. Yeah, he's tatted up. All right, this one. Recently, this Samoan actor had a TV show released about him, and he always said, "Can you smell what I'm cooking?"
The Rock.
Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson. Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson.
See, now you get a bonus point. It's like Kaylani. That Kaylani thing never even happened.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. We couldn't find a lot of ones that we wanted to put on here. There were some other people, but we didn't want to talk about them.
Yeah. Chris Brown. Okay, I guess. Now. It's interesting to think too that it was that difficult to find Taurus celebrities with tattoos, knowing they have that Venus energy. It makes me wonder if I would love to see a breakdown if someone could ever like statistically figure out what the most tatted signs.
I've thought about that before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, yeah, because we had what's his name? Travis Scott is also one. There's MJK. There's what's her name, Megan Fox.
Mhm.
But I mean that's about it. Like I don't think Lizzo might have one. You know what I mean? Like it was
Yeah.
super difficult, but like I can name 17 Scorpios with tattoos because they're like,
Yeah.
yes, bring it on. You know, like we all you know, we can name 1,000 even Pisces. What's his name? Adam Levine. Like I think you're right with the Venus. And you know, it's funny though, Libras, we have Lil Wayne and you know, he's got all those tats with Venus energy. So you just never know.
Interesting.
What you want to promote on here? Can people come to you for something? What you got? What you got going on, pimpin'?
Personally, I would actually like to use this time for anyone who doesn't follow these two ladies who's on here right now that stopped in to give them a follow. Shout out to Prostitutes Don't Give Change, who just entered the chat. My boy Q, you guys give him a follow. He's doing some good things with his little clothing line too.
Love that.
What's up, Q?
Yeah, Q-Bert in the chat. Off topic, and before you kick me off, I was going through the book that you had given me today, and this is just a fact that I never knew. Same karmic path. One of my favorite actors, Anthony Perkins. As anyone out there knows, I'm a huge horror fan. I didn't know he passed in the early '90s or whatever. But his wife, did you guys know she was a passenger on the flight on 9/11 that crashed in the building?
No.
I didn't know that because I thought this was like the karmic path people might have been part of the game. So I was like, let me just do some quick research real fast. And isn't it wild?
Spooky.
Wow.
That is wild.
Spooky, yeah.
You never know.
Fun fact for everyone out there. Well, not fun.
Look at him. Morbid
Trivia
ass fact. Let's talk about some. No. Well, hell yeah. Sean is referring to a book, and if you want one, you got to holler at me, but you got to find me first. Oh my God.
Right.
Oh my God, look ahead. Yes, girl. Yes,
right.
Heather. Yes.
That's the real throwback.
Oh
right
my
there.
gosh. Wow.
That's right.
Thank you so much for gracing us with your amazing energy presence. All your tattoos.
Intimidating, and I was nervous. Thanks for having me.
No, we were so happy to have you.
With the two safest people that you could be with.
I know. But you know what? I still get nervous before every episode too. So don't worry, baby.
I just, nervously threw up everywhere and hopped on. So that's what the first time I was canceling the request to join. I was like, yeah, that's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sean, if you need to, please go follow him. He does some really creative things, but go find his. It might be private. I don't know. He's that kind of guy. You know, that 12th house. Oh, it's not. He don't have a private page. And also, Sean was on a social media hiatus, which I totally was with him on that. Mad props. Cassie made me do this now. But thank you so much. We love you. I love you.
Love you.
Yeah.
You and I live in the same state. I'm guessing we're going to have to link up when you get back because
I know. I have
super
real
long.
people hours now. So.
Me too, bitch. Corporate. Okay.
Bye.
We're getting out of here with Sean, and we're gonna stay and have some questions. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Wait. Oh, okay. Kicked him out. Cool. That was awesome.
That was awesome.
Bye,
Sean.
Q. Close that bar. I might come visit you soon.
He hopped in. He's bartending.
Yeah, that's cute.
Right.
Yeah, that's cute. All right, that was awesome. We had great energy, guys. I'm glad we have such a diverse group of people that we get to bring on here and have a great conversation, get an open conversation and empower people, I
know. And look we have had 3 Taurus guests in era. No. Marlies broke up the Taurus
Leo
train a little bit. But 3 such wild different examples of Taurus energy, and yet all still sharing a little something.
Yes, always.
All right, so hopping into the questions from email, what are some things that change between the Taurus and Gemini seasons?
Not enough. No, I'm just kidding. For me, I think it's the pace. I think that Gemini season is like summertime, you know what I mean? Like it's towards the end of spring, really trying to get into summertime because the summer solstice isn't till closer to Cancer season. But I think it starts to speed a lot of things up. We were talking about this earlier. It seemed that Aries season was really fast, and Taurus season, as slow as it was, actually was really fast. And I think it's all of the transformative energies that have allowed it to feel like that just happened. You know what I mean? Like we said, the sun is going into Gemini on Friday, y'all. Like, shit.
Yeah. Guys, you have been here with us for almost 5 different zodiac signs now, because we started this show on the winter solstice, the first day of the sun in Capricorn. So, yeah. So like Tanae alluded to, Gemini is the last, sign of the spring season, right? Because it's kicked off by Aries and the spring equinox, excuse me. That's right, vernal equinox, spring equinox. And I think it's really interesting to look at. So every season starts with a cardinal, you get a fixed and then a mutable. And it's really interesting to look at the mutable signs that come at the end of those seasons and see how they're ushering in the next season. And Gemini very much does that. Like you said, it picks up the pace, and I think it gives us a little bit of a lighthearted like shake off before we get into the summer lovin' season that starts with Cancer and goes to Leo, and Virgo kind of settles us into the fall, right? Virgo's the mutable sign that ends the summer season. But yeah, expect we're gonna come into Gemini season with still some clusterfuck energy because Mercury's still in retrograde. Mercury's going to go backward into Taurus. It's been hanging out in, a sign it feels very comfortable in, of Gemini. It's going to do that. And we're going to have to, shift gears from Mars in Pisces to Mars in Aries, but that'll be good. Ultimately, it's just that it's going to, there's going to be a little curve there that we have to get over. But in general, Gemini season is a more lively time than Taurus season is usually. Taurus season is not usually as jam-packed as it has been this year, you guys. I'm blaming the eclipses and just this being at the end of, capitalism. I don't know what is going on in the world, but just enjoy these next few days of being out in the earth. And you can still carry that with you into Gemini season, because you're going to need some grounding in Gemini season.
Yeah, Gemini season, I think, and like Gotta Be Goldie said, she's right, it's social time. You'll probably get more text, more invites, pools will be open by the end. So, I think that, we need Gemini season. We kind of need to have the lighthearted, fun energy. Taurus season was like, girl, that's coming from a Taurus.
Right.
So I think we're all looking forward to the fun and excitement of Gemini energy. And it's playful. You know what I mean?
It is.
And it gives us a chance not to take things too seriously and to really kind of really just get our communication in the thing. Watch your mouth. Right?
True.
Yeah.
Always good advice, but especially in Gemini season. Yeah. But yeah, definitely a livelier vibe. All right. And our next question. Oh my gosh. Do you have yours up?
Yep,
today?
I do.
My thing just died. Right.
Garrett does things. I don't know if you're still in here, buddy. He says,
hi.
If the signs change every 30 days, does that mean I'm the same as everyone born in the same month as me?
So,
loaded question. No. Not you can have similarities with people born on your same day. That doesn't mean, because it's all going to depend on the year, the time, and we see how quickly. And even though the sun changes about every 30 days, the moon does the same thing. Some of the other planets don't change as frequently, so you could have similarities pop up with people, but you're never going to be the same. It's no two stars are the same, no two people are the same.
Yeah. And so Garrett is not really my stepson, but he's a friend of mine and my husband's, who started as a friend of my husband's, and he's a single dude, so he's visited us a few times. He'll stay with us, and That's why we joke he's our stepson. But I was explaining this to him because he enjoys our show, but usually doesn't watch the part where we read people's charts. He likes to like tune into what's happening in the universe and apparently doesn't say it for the rest. And I was like, well, if you did, you would know that it's about more than just where the sun was at the time you were born. All the planets bring something into play with your personality and, of course, their relationships to each other and all of that. So, you know, though there likely were other babies being born at the hospital the same time you were, 1 or 2 or 3 within the same hour or two, who could have, so theoretically there could be people out there with your exact same birth chart. A few, not many.
I've met one.
Yeah, but it does happen. And of course, those people won't be exactly like you because we all live different lives, babies. Like we all are raised by different people and have different life experiences that bring out the good, bad, ugly, or whatever.
That part.
And that's, you know, that's going to change. But you will probably share a lot of similarities with somebody with the exact same birth chart as you, personality flaws and ways of, you know, responding to situations. I would love to meet 2 people with the same birth chart, and
they were
other than twins, I suppose, who I have met.
But even twins, because they're not born on the exact minutes, tend to
could have different rising signs.
Different, yeah. And I'm sure somebody, you know, they might get on your nerves because it's going to be a big reflection of your type of energy, and like you may think it's cool, but then when it's reflected back to you, you're like, oh, am I like that? I've done that. I've said that before. I'm like, ooh, girl, okay. Sink.
That's right. That's right.
I'm gonna answer this one real quick because it's right here. Ooh, Jack Harlow. You mean the one that didn't know that Ray J and Brandy were siblings? Anyway. How does Aquarius respond to a Gemini season? Amazing. Duh.
Affirmative.
It's like, yeah, it's literally like our cousin, like, what's up, bruh? It's like time to go to the barbecues. It's time to have a good time. Aquarius and Gemini air signs together. Aquarius is probably tend to be more social during Gemini seasons because the rest of the year they could give a fuck. But yeah. So Jack Harlow's a Pisces. Interesting. But yeah, Jack Harlow, what was he, like 12? 16?
Girl, let's not. His birthday is probably after the year 2000. Anyway, what deck are we pulling from?
So Cassie just put that in. Check, check, boom! We got the Moonology Oracle deck this week by Yasmin Boland. I thought that since last week we did do the manifestation deck, we were going to do an Oracle deck and see what energies you guys can take with you for the rest of this week into the Scorpio full moon that's happening within the next hour or so if you're on the East Coast. If you're any further than that, after midnight, that will happen tomorrow. 1998, girl, put that away. Okay. Praise Jesus. Anyway, those two after 2000s are different. Girl, tell them. Anybody that don't got a 1 in front of their birthday, I don't know, you missing out. You don't know what
unless
it's like.
I gave birth to you, I'm not.
Boy. Okay. Well, oddly enough, North Node, step out of your comfort zone.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
I was like, but the other one that was, I pulled 2, but I'm going to go with that one. But the other one was a full moon in Gemini. The answers are coming.
Interesting.
But they were built in a lab. Girl, stop. I cannot wait till you come on the show, girl, because you are killing me softly right now. Oh my God, I love it. Okay. Let's see. Give me one moment. There we go. It is literally the last one. The very last card. Yeah. The very last card. The very last one. Step out of your comfort zone, North Node. And we do know, as we're saying, the North Node is in Taurus. We talked about the eclipse. Wow, wow, wow. This is pretty much perfect. There's a strong feeling when you get this card that it's time to leave the past behind somehow because you are headed in the right direction. If you want to be happy and fulfilled, you need to get going towards doing the thing that scares you within reason. This card is all about living your life purpose. which is possibly what you've asked about. It's urging you to dare to do something different with your life and your direction to take action. So are you willing to follow through and lead the life you incarnated to live? If you finally find the courage to make the leap, there's a good chance you'll come to ask yourself, why did I wait so long? The teaching. The North Node is where the moon crosses the ecliptic going north. It's a karmic point on the horoscope chart that shows us what we need to do and where we need to go with our life to find satisfaction, fulfillment, and happiness. The North Node is the karmic astrological point that reminds us, to paraphrase Andre Gide, that in order to discover new oceans, we have to be prepared to lose sight of the shore. Additional meetings, you are heading for something which feels like destiny. You need to face fear and get over it. Time to stop obsessing about someone or something. Stand on your own 2 feet, and you've got this. Guys, it is time. Listen, every time, Cassie, every single time, whatever deck I pull from, the universe is like, listen. And that was perfect because we were talking about how the North Node is opposing the full moon. And it's like, get your shit together. Period. There is no other way to put that. Like, if you can't see everything spiraling around you, you need to get your shit together if everybody else isn't. Because if you have your shit together, that other stuff, you're going to be able to work through it. But just work through the shadow work. Find some water. Go outside. I had a friend say, go look at the moon. That's like my love language. Like, tell me to look at the moon all day. But just take it in. Take a moment. Take some meditation breaks. And get some water. But yeah, we love you guys. Thank you so much always. Oh, hey girl. Thank you so much for joining us. We love this every week. You guys have been the best, as always. We have the best fans. We love y'all. Cassie girl, I would never do this without you because this is us. This is our shit. We're going to be known for this. Sean, thank you again for being such an amazing guest, and we cannot wait to have our guest next week. Guys, always drop some questions on our social media if you have anything, or go always send us emails and let us know if you have any other questions. We'd love to answer them. They could be about whatever. Honestly, you can ask us any question. We'll answer it. We'll relate it somehow back to it. But thank you so much, guys. Have an amazing full moon. Cass and I are sending you all the blessings, transformation, and change that you need to be your best self, because that's what we're all here to do. And you are supported and you are loved no matter what it looks like on the outside.
That's right.
It's all love, y'all. What we got to say? Peace.